Hello everyone, it's me, Dilly Sims, and today we have a fun-ish, it was fun to make, but stressful at the same time, speed build. If you guys are familiar with Moulin Rouge, I took inspiration from Moulin Rouge. It's a musical, it's a musical about a prostitute who falls in love. How great is that? Well, the prostitute lives in a building in the shape of an elephant. Me and my friends call it the love elephant. So, of course, I saw it and I was like, whoa, I want to build a love elephant for my Sims. And so I built my very own love elephant for my Sims to fall in love in. And boy, oh boy, do I have so many great stories to tell you. Okay, let me start by saying I had a speed build pre-made, ready to go. But then I was making some room on my computer by deleting some files, and I deleted that file. So, I get to retell the same stories all over again. Isn't that just great? Well, it's fine because I have them all written down, all my wonderful stories. And if I don't get to telling all of them, I'll just tell the rest of these stories later because I will for sure continue making speed builds because building is fun and I love building stuff even though I'm not good at it. Lord knows I'm not good at it. But I enjoy building it and I'm not gonna stop anytime soon. Okay, so let's see. What's on my wonderful list of things to talk about? Okay, let's start off with this. So, my boss, who I'm going to name Sam, and you don't know if Sam is a boy or a girl, and I like it that way because I'm trying to stay more or less incognito when it comes to talking about my coworkers or people that I know. But I am pretty sure for my sister's graduation, both because I have two sisters and they both graduated not the same day, but like one right after the other. So like my sister Julie graduated on Wednesday and Kelly graduated on Thursday. So I'm pretty sure I requested Wednesday and Thursday off, and this was about a week ago. So you're watching this a week later, but it's fine, it's still totally relevant. So, I was pretty sure I requested those 2 days off, but the schedule came out and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't have it off. So I confronted my boss about it, Sam, and they said, oh, you should have requested it off then. But, I kept my mouth shut, and I was like, is there any possible person who could take my shift? Because sometimes they want us to find our own coverage. I know, it's ridiculous that we're supposed to do their jobs for them, but whatever. They want us to find our own coverage, and that's fine with me, but apparently there was a whole bunch of different scenarios or routes I could have taken to find coverage, and one of them was asking my, I don't want to say arch enemy, but my arch enemy Tom. If you guys watch my videos or my speed builds, you know that there is one coworker of mine who dislikes me a lot, who talks shit about me behind my back to my best friend Heather when she used to work at Home Cheese, and thinks that it won't get back to me. But I don't know where the logic in that is, but whatever. So I had to ask Tom, and Tom came up with some bullshit excuse, like he had to go see the doctor. I think that's what he said. I have a doctor's appointment. And I was like, you have a doctor's appointment at 7:30 at night? Okay, whatever. So, I still went to work, and I just got off really early. I sweated so much at work that day. It was gross how much I sweated. I ran around, I tried to finish everything in a timely manner, and I got it all done. Sure, I didn't get out at like the time that I wanted to, but I got out really close to that time. Yeah, I think I got out around 7. Yes, 7. And the graduation didn't start until 7:30, so I ran home really quick, changed, Then I ran over to the football field where there was a whole bunch of people ready to go. And then I found seating with my family, and I was sweating. I had to park because the middle school, the high school, and the elementary school are like really close together. They're like within walking distance. But the football field is tucked behind the elementary school. So I had to park not in front of the elementary school, but on the other side of the street. And so I like basically speed walked over to the field. And when I got there, I was like, like out of breath. And my family was like, "Oh, is everything okay?" No, Mother, everything was not okay. I had to work and then get off early and sprint over here, and my boss mad at me because I needed to get out early. Not wanted to, needed to, because I'm not gonna miss my sister's graduation. And then, okay, so I'm gonna talk about the middle school graduation first. So, the kids did a great job with their graduation ceremony, especially for middle schoolers, because I feel like middle schoolers are like the spawns of Satan that walk the earth. But they did a great job. They were very professional. It was almost like a high school graduation. Very well done. And the problem I had, and like many people had, it wasn't with the kids because they did a great job. It was with the adults. So we were sitting in the bleachers, and this douchebag decided to scream at the top of his lungs for like every other kid that walked and got their like little middle school diploma. Like just screamed, "Ah! Ah! Well, go Johnny!" Oh my god, can you calm down, sir? Please calm down. And like, it was right behind us in our ears, and his family was so rude. Like the entire family was rude, not just him. He was really rude too. His family would scream every once in a while, but they were not as loud as that guy. And there was someone sitting behind me, and throughout the entire, it was like a two and a half hour graduation ceremony. Throughout the entire graduation ceremony, his knee or her knee, I don't know, was just jammed straight into my back. Sure, if you're a normal human being and you're sharing bleachers with people, I mean, personally, I like to make sure my knees are between between two people, so I'm not like stabbing them in the back. And so for a whole 2 hours, I had the perfect posture. I sat up straight, so his or her knee would not stab me in the back the entire time. And I know they felt it, because every once in a very great long while during it, I would lightly just rest against their knee so they understood what they were doing was wrong. But apparently they didn't get the freaking hint. Idiots. And still talking about the middle school graduation, there was this woman and these two kids. And remember, this is a football field, so there's a track around the football field so people can like run track. And this woman and her two kids, I'm pretty sure they were there to watch somebody graduate. She would walk around the track with her two kids, and while the graduation ceremony is going on and kids are walking up to the superintendent and picking up their little diplomas, this woman's like walking in front of the ceremony and like waving at the kids like she's in a freaking parade. Like, does nobody have any common sense and or courtesy anymore? And this isn't like, you know, a 21-year-old woman. This is like a probably 30, 40-year-old woman who should probably be smart enough to realize what she's doing is wrong. And her kids were so distracting. Sure, she was pretty distracting herself, but her kids would like run on the track, and this is a dirt track, and then decide to like slide and see how far they could slide. And she would like let them do it in front of everybody, like some dumbass. I have no faith in people like that. No faith at all, whatsoever. I'm gonna talk about the build right now really quick. This room, so in Moulin Rouge, this is the bedroom of the prostitute. I forget what her name is. But she's played by, oh my gosh, what's her name? Catherine, no, it's not Catherine Heigl. And I really like this actress too. No. If you watch Stepford Wives, she's like the main actress in Stepford Wives. I can't think of her name right now. And I knew it. Like when I saw the movie with my friends at first, I was like, oh, that's so-and-so. But why can't I think of her name right now? I'm gonna Google it while I'm talking to you guys. So this room is very, very different to like the types of rooms that I make. It's very... Usually the colors that I like to stick with are the colors in the other room. Like very bright, very like colorful and easy to like get along with. What I mean by get along with is those colors are really nice homey colors. Like in a residential house, that is the type of colors you'll see. Not the ones in this room. This room it's like very gold and black and almost Hollywood. And I really wanted to keep it that way because I felt like in the movie her room is very like red, like very dark red, because that's where, you know, red is a romantic color, and that's where she takes her men. The prostitute played by, oh my gosh, here it is. Nicole Kidman. Where Nicole Kidman takes her men and they sleep with her for money, because that's what a prostitute does. But I really wanted this room to be very glamorous, because I felt like Nicole Kidman's character, even though she was a prostitute, she was very, very glamorous and beautiful, and she had really nice expensive costumes, and her hair was always like voluptuous. And I loved it, and I wanted this room to be dark, because the movie is kind of dark too, but at the same time very beautiful, like Nicole Kidman's hair. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to talking about the graduation ceremony. Other than those two things, the douchebag screaming at the top of his lungs, and that stupid ass woman with her kids walking around the track being a complete distraction, the rest of the graduation went down very, very well. And so Kelly's graduation was, it didn't have as many distractions. Of course, there were people who, oh, I lied, there were a few distractions. There were people, of course, who screamed at the top of their goddamn lungs like they were being murdered. But, okay, let me stress this. If you're ever in a movie theater and your phone rings, just turn it off. Do not answer it. This woman sitting next to me. So, let me rewind. My sister's friend, I'm gonna call her Madison because that's her real name. She went up to and she like sang a song about. It was a romance song, but the lyrics fit the graduation. It was like, "This is our moment," or something like that. "We never thought that it would end," and blah, 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 blah. But she did a great job with the song. That's not my problem. This woman next to me, her phone rang in the middle of the song. And so she decides to pick it up and talk on the phone throughout the entire song. And no, it wasn't just like, it was like talking as loud as me right now, next to me, and no one told her to shut the hell up. I am so mad at people who pull shit like that, because it is so disrespectful and so rude. And that's like I don't know how old my sister is. That's like a 17, 18-year-old girl, and this is her moment. She's not gonna get a moment like this again. So thank you for being a rude, old-ass bitch, and talking on the phone during her moment that she's never gonna get back again. Thank you. And oh my gosh, if she pulled that stunt when my sister was talking, because the class president wrote a speech, and it gets translated into 3 different languages. Or was it 2? 2 other languages other than English, Spanish and Portuguese, because we have a lot of Portuguese and Spanish speaking people in our area. And so my sister, because we are Portuguese, she was she volunteered to say the speech in Portuguese, and she did. But if that woman pulled that shit while my sister was speaking, I love my family, and I love my sisters more than anything in the world. To the point that I'm kind of like a mama bear about it. I will protect them. But if my sister tried to pull, if my sister, if that woman tried to pull that shit while my sister was speaking, I would have asked her to please stop. I mean, I wouldn't have, like, picked up the phone and thrown it, but I would have asked her to please talk to that person later, because she's being super rude. And I'm hoping that this, like, 40, maybe 50-year-old woman would understand that that was disrespectful once I told her to stop. She's just very lucky she didn't get a phone call when my sister was speaking, because even though my sister didn't make the speech herself, my sister deserves to be up there translating. And I don't know if you guys do this, if other high schools across America do this, but there were a lot of, like, talented, and I put quotation marks around the word talented, because talent is a subjective thing. Talented kids, my sister's high school, like, showcased them when they graduated. Like, there were these two guys who went up, and I know who they are. Like, I know at least one of their names. Or two? I don't know if I know both of their names. At least one. They went up and, like, together they rapped. Like, R&B, I don't know who rappers are. Snoop Dogg, like, they rapped. And it wasn't like, they made their own rap about graduating from high school and how hard it was. And I'm like, okay. A, please do not rap about graduating from high school. If you want to be a serious rapper, you should never rap about high school. Because if you do, the next step in your career is rapping about helping your parents with chores. Just putting that out there. I do not see a successful future if that's what you're going to be rapping about. Sorry. That is just the honest truth. But all the other kids did a great job with their, like, presentations. Most of them just sang. There was, like, 3 or 4 of them that sang, including my sister's friend. And that was actually, there was a few speeches, and everyone else did a really great job, actually. And do I have time? I want to see how much time I have in the rest of the video. Oh, I have time to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. What else can I talk about? Turn off. Oh my gosh. The other day at work, I was working and I was portioning out some ranch for our salads, and this customer whistled at me. And it wasn't like a I don't know how to whistle, but it wasn't like a sexy, hey, woo-hoo, like flirty whistle. It was like a woo, woo, come here, boy, come here. That was the type of whistle that he gave me, and I was so mad. And I went up to him and I was like, yes, can I help you? And he said, the display that you had out, the cream cheese sample, where do I find that? And I was like, you're gonna have to ask one of those girls over there, because I don't know. And I knew the answer. I wasn't gonna answer him, because nobody should ever talk to anyone like that, ever. And he works in the company with me, but, like, I don't see him too often, because he probably, like, does night shifts or something when I'm not working. And Jesus H. Christ, I've never had, like, a conversation with him because he works in a different department. But no, I know he is an American. I would understand if they were from, like, France or some other country, because, there are cultural differences. But he is an American. He should know that that is, in so many ways, disrespectful. And it made me so angry. I went to my coworker and I was like, did you see how he called me like I was a fucking dog? And she was like, yeah. I was so mad. But guys, never, ever, 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 ever go to an employee, I don't care where they work, I don't care if it's McDonald's, and whistle at an employee to get their attention. Okay? If you're like, whoa, that person's attractive. I mean, that still falls into some really gray areas, but never do that, guys. Never ever, because that makes me so angry. And I'm gonna leave this part off here because I'm getting really close to the end-ish. So like, subscribe, comment, do all those fun YouTube things, and I will catch you all next time. Bye, everybody!